Alright, so this is 11.2. The problems for the day 1 is 14, 18, 20, 23, 29, 33, and 35. And then day 2 is going to be a separate worksheet. I'll tell you which part is for day 2 in this video, though. So open up to 11.2. And we're here. The learning target, I can use arithmetic sequences and find sums of the arithmetic series. The finding sums part, that's day 2. Alright. But the first thing we need to know, again, arithmetic sequences, it's all about adding and subtracting, finding that common difference. This right here is the equation you will need to know. You will have this on any assessment, so that's given to you. So for our first example, find the nth term. So I'll give you a little example right here. And it's find the first 4 terms of an arithmetic series, where A1, so our first term is 2, that's what A1 means, and our difference is 8, so that's our common difference. A couple ways you can do this. First way is our first term is 2, and our common difference we said was plus 8, so 2 plus 8 is 10. The common difference is plus 8, so now we're at 18, and then plus 8 again, and we get 26. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is plugging into the formula. Now, right now, for this example, this is probably the quicker way. This will work. But now if I give you an example like this, we'll call this actually number 2. It says find the 12th term of the arithmetic sequence 9, 12, 23, and 30. And then we're going to fix one little typo right there. That should be a 16. There we go. Now that's an arithmetic sequence. Finding the 12th term is not so easy doing this way. You could do it, but it's going to be very time consuming. So we're going to use this equation. Alright, so for step 1 we need to find the common difference. So D equals, and to go from 9 to 16 we add 7. 16 to 23 we add 7, and 23 to 30 we add 7. So it's a positive 7. And now step 2, we're going to actually find the 12th term. We'll call this A little 12. Okay. So now we're going to use the formula right there. So we have the 12th term, A12 equals, and then A1 is 9, that's the first one, plus our N is 12 minus 1, and then you have the difference, which we know is 7. Now how do I get 12 here? N is whatever term you're looking for. So N is number of term. So now we have 9 plus 11 times 7, that's what D was, equals 9 plus 77 equals 86. So the 12th term is 86. And then for part B, write equations for the nth term. First things first, I need to figure out what is my common difference. So I go from 5 to negative 13, I get negative 18, negative 13 and negative 31, minus 18. So we know that our D equals negative 18. And now I'm going to use the formula and plug in what I know. So I have AN equals my first term, my A1 is 5 plus, and then N minus 1 times with negative 18, like this. And then you can distribute this negative 18, make it a little bit easier to see. So you have 5 plus negative 18 times N plus 18, and then you can combine those two like terms. So you get AN, so the nth term, equals negative 18N plus 23. Alright, and then you can find any term you want. You could find the fourth term. You plug in 4 for n. Right, so you just plug it in right here, and then it'll give you a number. That's the fourth term, and so on and so forth. Like that. If you're given not the first term, but you're given the fifth term, you would have to go find the first term. You have to solve for the first term. So you would have like a to the fifth equals a1 plus n minus 1 times d. And then you'd have, I know that a, the fifth term is 19 equals a1 plus n minus 1. And I know d is 6. And then I know that n would have to be 19. Or sorry, 5, because that's the fifth term. So you'd have a1 plus 4 times 6. And that equals 19. So that's if you're given a term that's not the first term. All right. So that's kind of the third part you'll need to know. The fourth part is arithmetic mean. And what that is we first, our step one, we need to find how many total terms there are. So how many terms we have. So this is going to be our n equals, and you're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so there's 6 terms here. We only know 2 of them, the first and the last. Now I want to find the middle one. And then step 2, find the difference. So we're finding the difference using the formula. Alright, so now you have 22 equals -8 plus, right, we have this n minus 1. And this time, right, my 22, that is my 6th term. So that's 6 minus 1. My first term is -8. So how do you find n here? It's basically how many terms you have. Right, because this is going to be the last one always. So now you have -8 plus 6d minus d. Right, distribute this equals -8 plus 5d. You could also just take 6 minus 1 and have 5 and then have 5d there. This is always 22. You can add 8 to both sides. I now have 30 equals 5d, divide by 5, and d equals 6. So now that I know what my common difference is, step 3 is just filling in the missing. So fill in missing values. Alright, so that's step 3. So we have -8. We add 6, we're at -2. Add 6, we're at 4. Add 6, we're at 10. Add 6, add 6. So here's my missing, here's my missing, here's my missing, here's my missing. Kind of box those around for you. But that is how you find arithmetic mean. And if we flip the page, this is where day 2 goes into. It's a little bit more difficult because we're talking about partial sums. So I want to find what is the sum from 12 plus 19 plus 26, right? We have this finding this common difference. What is the common difference? You notice it would be 7 this time. Right, so I'm just going to put d equals 7. We might use it, we might not, but it's just something that we should always check. But our first step would be find n. Right, I want to find what's going to be my number of terms. So my last one is 180. That's my last part. Equals. And now I have to deal with my A1. What is my first part? That's 12. Right, that's my first term. Plus, and then we have n minus 1. And then, yes, we are going to have to use the common difference. So we have 7. Now it's just a little bit algebra on the right side. So we have 12 plus 7n minus 7 equals 5 plus 7n equals 180. Now we have 175 equals 7n. Right? Subtract 5 on both sides, divide by 7, and you get n equals 25. So once you have that, you would have n, you have 7 for D. Now, you're going to use one of these two formulas. You're either going to use the general or the alternate. And so, use general or alternate. And it's depending what you started with. So we started with A1, and we found D. We had A1 and we had AN, so we could use either one of them. It's up to you. I'm going to show you the general first. So we have Sn equals our n is 25. Our A1 is 12 plus our AN is 180. Divide that by 2. So 12 plus 180 divided by 2 and times by 25. So you get 25 times 96, which equals 2,400, and that's what Sn equals. The sum of 12 plus 19 plus 26 plus your next one would be 33, and so on and so forth until you got 1 to 180. You could use the alternate, right? Because we have D as well. We found that, and that would work out perfectly fine. It's up to you. There you go. So there are the notes for that. All right, so our last example is going to be our first one on the bottom here. And this is going to be find Sn in arithmetic. And you want to make sure that it says arithmetic, because tomorrow we're going to worry about geometric. So find Sn in arithmetic series, where A1 equals 4, N equals 10, and D equals 9. And this time I'm going to use the alternate. The reason why I have to use the alternate this time is because I don't have AN at all. So I'm going to use the alternate. So that's Sn equals N over 2, and then 2 times a first term plus N minus 1, and then times by the common difference. Alright, so now we're going to plug in what we know. So we have 10 over 2, 2 times 4, plus 10 minus 1, times 9. So I'm going to do 10 divided by 2 is 5. I have 8 plus 9 times 9, like so. And then I have 5, and then 8 plus 81. 9 times 9 is 81. 5 times 8 plus 81 is 89. And this is just multiplication here, so 5 times 89 equals 445. So for this problem, the sum, the Sn, is 445. So that's just the arithmetic series, what you're going to have to do. Again, this is day 2, and it's just finding the sums, right? From 4, we're going up by 9 each time, and we're doing it 10 times. What is it all add together?